Everyone, we are 22S Radio, the next wave of K Beach. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM, KKJZ, HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back, everyone, to Talking with Mr. Program. I am your host, Mr. Klein. Back out again with two of my closest friends, back from childhood, Mr. To the right, Mr. Mahlon Howard. How are you?
Doing
and
pretty
to
good.
the left, a previous guest I had, Q, whose birth name is Millie Coward.
What's goody?
How are you guys?
Birthday. What's up? Doing good.
So
Hey,
it's been a hassle getting you guys on the show.
I mean, I've already been on.
Well, you've been on before, but that's a totally different story in and of itself. But for you, Mahlon, specifically, I've been trying to get you on for a long time. That is true.
Yep.
Because I believe, and I don't just get random people on the show just for whatever, even though some people may have a vision of that. That's not the reason why I have you on the show. What I want to ask you is, specifically, I like the way you view movies and film.
Disclaimer: I'm not. I didn't study film, so I'm not going to act like I did.
Not in an academic setting. What I believe is that if you study something, if I don't learn anything from graduating from college, is that you don't need a degree to have studying
to have
something.
a decent opinion. I
Yeah,
guess I
exactly.
have a decent opinion on film. But
Yeah, exactly. So,
not too much.
yeah, so be proud of it. So, one thing that you brought up, because you always said you always want to talk about this in the podcast, is how a lot of films tend to play off the fact of nostalgia
Yes.
by remaking old cartoon films into, modern day live action films, such as The Lion King that just came out, for example.
Yeah. Okay. Well, definitely on that. But there's like 2 points with that nostalgia wave going on with movies. Not just like animated films, because Disney's got their own nostalgia effect going on, But was that better? Cool. All right. But Disney has their own thing going on, But you also got like your Jurassic World and your 6th, 7th Terminator and all that shit. But with like Disney, everybody wants to get some live action realistic rendition of an old Disney movie, which kind of underplays animation. And again, I'm not an animator. I don't make movies. I don't know. But animation can do a lot for a movie. That's why, Disney has been working so well in the industry for like the past, 60, 70 years?
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Yeah.
no. Almost 100 now.
That's a weird thought.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Steamboat
a
Willie.
century
Mm-hmm.
of animation.
Yeah, but like with their like actual like box office successes, since obviously Snow White's been around for a minute, but like I'm talking about like the 80s, 90s kind of stuff, Aladdin, Hercules, all the Disney princesses, all that stuff, like especially Lion King, because we can go on that. Like the animation, because these are animals, it works when you have these expressions going on, when you have all of this character just in movement, and it makes the movie more alive, like just going from 2D to realistic CG. Obviously it doesn't work. Like the biggest complaint that people had with the new Lion King was that, oh, they look too real and they don't look like they have any emotion. I'm like, well, it's a fucking lion. It's a real lion, Of course you're not going to have some realistic stuff going on, or not realistic, you know what I mean? Like,
But in my opinion, there was a way they could have still made it look real, but still given the characters emotion, because that's kind of drives the entire plot of the film.
Yeah.
But I think what made this recent Lion King what attracted people towards it was A, the nostalgia factor, A, and B, that it was so star-studded that
the cast was the best thing
you
about
would be
it.
a fool to think this is a bad movie
Right.
off without seeing it, because the cast has so many big names in it.
Yeah.
So I think they probably rode that wave thinking that it was going to get the notoriety which it hasn't received.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because it's like, if you're going to get an amazing cast that everyone wanted and tell the story that everyone already loves and it doesn't work, maybe it has to do with the presentation of it, like just the visuals, because the music's the same, but it doesn't work. Same thing with Aladdin. Like Genie's song where he's like introducing Aladdin as Prince Ali. It looks dull because
you can't
animate 7 guys stacking on top of each other just to like kind of move back and forth and shake his hand and look all wobbly and whatnot, because that would just look way too jarring if it's CG. It already looked bad enough with Will Smith slapped on a genie, but like people think that they want it, but they really don't. They kind of just want more updated animation. Well, I'm not going to say that they do because that's just pretentious as fuck.
Because people forget, like, the big word is that when it comes to movies, especially like The Lion King and like Aladdin, is that you can't anthropomorphize things.
I think that's
like, yeah, anthropomorphize. I'm pretty sure. Google me, whatever. But basically, like, you can't get the emotions from a genie that doesn't exist, an object that doesn't exist. It's like if they did, when they did live action Beauty and the Beast, same thing. You can't get these inanimate objects to be able to convey the same amount of emotion and the same amount of, the same amount of feeling and like
just
vibrance
energy, like,
that you get, especially in The Lion King,
right? Like,
because you've seen those pictures on Twitter to where like it shows the mix
there was
between CG and original animation.
Yeah, there was like a side-by-side comparison of the poster with Simba. Like the poster of him like in Mufasa's like
in
paw
like
print,
the paw print,
right? And there was the one that we have now, looks like a lion. Then we have another one where it's like his 90s face is drawn, not really drawn, but
it's like
photoshopped onto it.
Like
it's
the
like the texture is still there, just that fur and all that stuff is still there, but you can see his eyes are bigger, his mouth is
he has a
cartoony
face.
mouth. He has a face, and it's like Disney's formula when they first started doing their 2D animation was just basic shapes. Just the shape of a character tells you, what kind of personality they have. You know what I mean? And just the way that they move, like literally just how if a character is heavy and big, obviously they're going to be like a big goofy character like, Pumbaa. But and Timon is all, thin and scrawny and whatnot. So he's going to be more snappy and quirky and all that stuff. But obviously it's just a boar and is he a muskrat?
No. What is he? Is that what his animal's called?
What, the
muskrat?
Well, Timon
I thought it was a lemur.
No, he ain't no lemur.
No.
This isn't Madagascar.
No, it's
A
not.
muskrat? I think it might be a muskrat then.
No.
That sounds about right.
Nah, what is it, a meerkat?
Meerkat. That's what
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lemur. Oh.
Nah, dude, that's like Madagascar.
I'm thinking of something
Yeah,
else. I'm thinking of, wait, what was the name of the lemur from Madagascar again?
Prince
I know
Julian.
Prince Julian. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing an impression of him. That'd be racist. Okay.
Come on, go ahead.
No. I don't have
I don't see why not. Come on.
No.
Cancel culture is strong, bro.
Exactly.
We're not doing that.
It's not.
Did I tell you I saw Mulan?
Wait, like
The new one.
It's out?
Oh,
It's not out.
You went
It's
to
not
a
out. I
film
went to
festival,
the. I went to the. Okay, so Disney has they give out these like passes, right? For like no more than like 50 passes out, like every single time they have a movie that's about to come out, and it's for an audience to review and watch a movie that's not out yet, but it's already announced, and it was Mulan. They don't tell you the movie ahead of time, so I went, and it was Mulan. Granted, it was about 3.5 hours uncut.
Right, so that you can like have a review and tell them, oh, this works, this doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, you're being a critic.
It was the most boring fucking film I've ever seen in my life.
I mean,
like,
pacing and
well, yeah, I think
story beats.
Everyone was like, "Oh my god, 3.5 hours! No wonder you were bored." No, it just felt like I feel like this would be the final straw in Disney's
the nail in the coffin.
in Disney's Tom.
I could have sworn Dumbo was going to be that,
Guys,
but no.
You know, it's funny because like let's think about all the movies that they've done. We forget that they did Tarzan.
I don't want.
They did that already. Yeah. The Jungle Book was the only one that I heard that people really liked.
Well, they because
it's
one
still
of
a
the
human character,
right?
It's a lot easier to tell that story. When I saw the Jungle Book, I really didn't think they were going to continue to do that. Like Beauty and the Beast can work; they're humans. Like that's a story that is
one
something
was still debatable, though.
No, but Beauty and the Beast is definitely something that you feel like can be told in multiple facets. Here's what I think
about Beauty and the Beast, because I saw the movie and it just felt like again, back where we were on before.
carbon
there are
copy
so many.
of
There
the
are so many.
animated one.
There are so many inanimate objects
Yeah,
that
that's
you
what I was
have to
saying
bring
earlier.
to life, and it's just like
It's impossible to do.
how do for example, a lamp. How can you make a lamp look attractively animated?
That's what
A lamp,
goes
a
back to my
teacup.
point. That's what
Yeah.
goes back to my
A
point about
clock.
the
just-
shapes. What Disney does with their shapes is that they literally
What they
have
did.
what they did, because rest in peace the 2D studio.
They
Anyway.
gutted it.
They gutted it. But anyway, like the shapes tell everything about the character. Just every single bit of movement tells the character. That alone is the character, not just the what. Oh, you want water? Okay.
you could have just said that out
I
loud.
know,
There's nothing
right?
wrong. I don't know why you think.
Drink Hydro Flask. Hydrate. If you're watching this, hydrate. Don't be that person. Anyway, so shapes. Shapes are important because just animating the character, obviously, just looking at the character shows who they are. It shows personality. But you can do so much more with animation because you can defy the laws of physics. You can literally exert their personality just from movement, just from like how their body reacts around the world and whatnot. You know, as a CG character, sure, you can still kind of do that, but you have that limitation of realism. And like Lemire, for example, you know, the candle in
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast, he like just the way that his candle can just it's his hands. You know what I mean? Like in the live action, sure he can kind of do that, but his hands kind of stay the same, you know, most of the time and whatnot. But in the animation, the fire can go all over the place, and his hand can go up and down and literally go on his hip without it like.
There's just so many limitations.
Exactly.
Even though CGI is amazing technology, and it's been pushed so far from when its humble beginnings as the Jimmy Neutron movie of 2001.
It's humble beginnings.
But we got to get back on that. But anyway, since it's evolved, there are just some things you cannot redo with typical 2D animation.
Right. And some people are kind of asking, well, if it's not working, why are they still doing it?
Because you guys keep
Stop
paying for
buying
it.
the tickets.
You guys keep
Stop
paying for it. Of
going
course
there.
they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, and it's like it's
Doesn't mean
no
it's good.
diss at all for like, you know, the cast. You know, no diss to them at all. They're just doing their job.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm be real. The Beehive gonna come at me, but I haven't seen the full movie, but I've seen many clips. I do not preferably like Beyonce's acting as Nala so far.
You're canceled.
Cancel
They're coming
me, bro.
for you.
guys. All right.
They're coming for you.
Come in.
Malik's
Yeah, get 'em.
Malik's at is at Q_Hugh KYU
Hugh? All right, yeah, y'all ain't gonna find me.
WHO. Yeah.
Speaking of
cancel
Q,
him right
Q
now.
Neutron, let's transition back into Jimmy Neutron.
Okay, that show we were watching, we were at your house. So
Oh, I knew you were gonna talk about
So because it was really, really interesting. I want to talk about it. So
Yeah.
basically, before we got here, I was at Malik and Milan's house, and their nephew was watching a show on Netflix
Shout out to
called
Ezra.
Motown Magic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
what
it's
called.
essentially, I just heard about this today. It's essentially a TV show, a children's TV show, like for infants and toddlers, in which all the characters, or the main characters at least, are black, and they make stories in lieu of Motown music.
Yep.
Yes.
That is
Just
the
like-
concept.
Just to give you like a taste of what that is, if you ever have like any kids or babysitting anybody, put that on, educate them, culture them. The kid's little magic wand, like Chalk Zone magic wand or whatever you want to call it, like the magic words is ABC. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, and then it just works.
Y'all make me want to talk about Chalk Zone now.
Okay,
Chalk
talk
Zone.
about
We'll
Chalk
get there
Zone.
later.
Chalk
Chalk
Zone.
Zone.
We're going to
That's
get
where
there
it's at.
eventually.
But yeah, so Motown music, that's a little fun show to show to your kids. But the CG in it, because it's a CG animated show, it looks jarring, but not as jarring as Jimmy Neutron, and that's what we want to talk about.
Okay, here's what I'll say. Recently, because I know you deal with this too, I've been dealing with a lot of sensory overload.
Yes, all the time.
That show gave me sensory overload.
Yes,
It is
that's
it is
perfect.
so it is so like so much color, and it's just like,
well, those aspects are actually very important to a child's development.
well, yeah,
that's
I
their
agree.
attention.
I agree, and it just, looking at it, it's just like there's so much I have to focus on in order to get the entire picture, which is why, and this is now our third time going back to this subject, which is why I enjoyed the 2001 edition of the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius feature film, one of the greatest films in American cinema to date.
Stop.
Okay, so pretty
it
much
goes.
if you don't know how it goes, first off, it starts with the boy genius bringing his town of Retroville to salvation from a light apocalypse. Cause
aliens.
It's like a rapture.
The rapture that only takes adults.
Exactly.
Like, what a kid's like
Actually, pretty wild.
wet dream.
But it's really good because it starts out
That's
like
a
when you're a
dicey
kid, you look at it, you
Yeah, I should've
really
said
want to
that.
just like immerse yourself into that fantasy that, hey, my parents are gone, I can do whatever the hell I want. I get to eat a bunch of cake and candy and all that shit, and then you realize, wow, this sucks, and I'm probably gonna die because my parents take care of me. Now they're gone.
I think that's actually what happened. Like, they were all going nuts, going over to the what the freak is? What is it? Sal's? What's the dude's place where he always
the
talks
candy
about?
bar.
Yeah,
The
bro, the
candy
candy bar. I think they were hitting up that place all the time because homie always talk about how he's out of seltzer and whatever, and like he always talks about his. It's so stereotypically like 60s and 50s, but like
I'm gonna put a tab on candy bar because I just got another thought. Got another thought of a cartoon.
Whoa, wait.
That has to do with
Candy
candy.
bar. Candy. I just now got that joke.
what?
Because a candy bar, like Hershey's,
Yeah,
and it's a bar that sells candy.
All right.
yeah.
I
Man,
just now got. How long has it
we're
been?
pretty
It's been
stupid.
It's been 18. It's been 18 years since the movie just came out, and I just now got that reference.
Yeah, just the show in general. I never got that joke.
Wow.
Also,
feel so dumb.
one other thing, just in case for the people out there, you guys might know. If you remember the Naked Brothers band, Nat and Alex Wolf. Alex Wolf was what's his name from Hereditary?
What?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, that's the drummer kid.
God.
No.
Yes.
No, it
What?
wasn't.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
God,
That's
holy
the same
shit.
person.
That's amazing.
That's the
Speaking
same
of, all right,
person.
we're just gonna keep going back and forth with a bunch of stuff. Watch Hereditary; it's really good. And if you like it and you like the director,
What's the character's
I
name?
gotta-
So I could get everyone.
Peter.
Peter, yeah.
I got to give a shout out to.
Alex Wolf is Peter in
Peter.
Hereditary. Alex Wolf from Naked Brothers
I'm gonna
band.
stop.
I got to give a shout out to one of my coworkers, Ian, because I just put him on to like Ari Aster.
Good.
Because he watched Midsummer and he was like, I don't know what the hell I just watched. And I'm like, dude, you don't know nothing yet about Ari Aster. You'd think that was
The
bad.
strange thing about the Johnsons.
That was what I showed him.
That's the first
And
thing I ever saw.
I
by
told
Ari
him.
Aster.
I
First
told
thing I saw
him.
was Hereditary.
He was like, should I watch this on my lunch break? And I'm like, no, because you're not gonna want to eat after.
Go watch it.
Watch it at home. Like
You wait
in
like
the
2
dark.
hours ago. You're done.
in the day.
No. Yeah, in the day.
In the day
In the
when
day.
you have nothing to do,
Yeah.
you have no worries. Drink some wine and just digest
just
what you're about
watch.
to see.
Don't
30
smoke.
minutes of pure disgust.
Disclaimer, do not
don't have it
smoke.
play when you're in the background. Don't.
Yeah, pay full attention.
Pay full
do
attention
not
to
be
it.
under the influence unless it's a little bit of alcohol. Don't smoke before seeing Midsummer, please.
Oh,
Unless
you're
you
talking
want
about
to.
you're talking about a
Oh no, I
talking
know
about
you're talking about the short.
Stranger
I'm just
Things.
saying like just anything that's Ari Aster.
Ari
in
Aster's
general.
ever made.
Dude, that man's a genius.
Do yourself a favor.
That man
That
is,
man is a genius.
very
Amazing.
very
Amazing.
sick in the head too a little bit.
I try to tell people like, no, man, he's a god, dude. I'm like, yeah, I agree, but I can't mean he's not disturbed.
He's definitely
he's
a
pretty
disturbed.
disturbed.
human being.
Yeah.
Just
He's
disturbed
definitely a
individual.
disturbed
I mean,
being.
if he's just pulling that stuff, out of thin air, just like the influence of people around him, that's really good. But if he has no trauma, I don't believe that.
I don't believe he
he's
has no
made
trauma.
I'm pretty
three feature film, well, 2 feature films and 1 30-minute short about some of the most disturbing stuff I've ever seen. So,
And
Yeah.
on top of that, it's not just the content, like maybe not
the way that it's presented.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much
As
the
a
words
director, he
that
just
are-
has
Right.
he has this way of going about things. Not just maybe the words that are being said
Right.
on the on the screen, on the mise en scène, vocab word. But more specifically,
Jot that down.
more specifically, like probably my favorite scene in Hereditary, and I was telling the guy I mentioned before, Ian, my coworker,
Yeah.
about the scene after, I don't want to spoil Hereditary for anyone, but after,
bro, it's a little too late. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! If you're seeing this on YouTube, skip about 2 minutes.
Skip to this timestamp in the description.
It'll be there.
Okay.
It's probably not going to be.
Without further ado, so you know the point in Hereditary in which after he kills his sister,
Yeah.
he goes home and lays down, and the camera is sideways, looking at him fall asleep.
Yep.
And then you just hear the mom walk downstairs, open the car door, see the dead body, and scream.
Right.
The fact that he was able to portray like that amount of tension.
He didn't sleep. The camera didn't move. See, most of the time, now, what most people would do is they would show him, have like a pretty much just, like a face close-up shot of him freaking out, reacting, going to his room, and then his mom waking up, going about her routine. No, you have to be on Peter's mind the whole time. You have to be focusing on how he's feeling, and how he's feeling is just dead inside.
And in shock.
In shock.
He doesn't even...
Not to mention he did it while he was high, so it's pretty scary.
Yeah, so imagine being high.
Imagine being high and decapitating your sister.
By accident.
Didn't do it on purpose. He's a good kid.
I remember we were watching it, I was like, this is all happening, he's high as fuck. And you're like, wait a minute.
The crazy part is that the same scene?
You're watching it with me, Reef, and
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the same scene while he's laying down and all that happens and immediately snaps and he's back in his classroom, right?
No.
No.
Or
that's a different scene.
What happens is, right after that scene, it shows the decapitated head running.
Yeah, right. So it shows him. His mom screams. He's frozen the entire time, but the second his mom screams, then he starts to react. It's like he's clenching his pillow, but he's not like crying or anything. He's literally just, he knows that, okay, this is real, and then it goes to the head. And at first, most people were kind of like, oh, or, she just broke her neck, right? And then when you see the head, you're like, oh, that thing went clean off. That's fucking terrible. It's terrifying. Yeah. But it's so good. And that's like, that whole scene is like 3 minutes of just his face and then her face. But the entire
dialogue either.
No dialogue. See,
just
that's what I'm saying.
Cinematography, pacing, and reaction, just noise.
See, right. That's where I give it up to him for just being able to create a scene without any interpretive dialogue.
Right, and like another spoiler. If you're trying to skip ahead and come back, leave again if you haven't seen Midsommar.
This podcast is full of spoilers.
Yeah, full spoilers, especially for Jimmy Neutron. But if you want to not spoil Midsommar for yourself, skip again. But anyway. So the scene where the two elders that are 72 years old and have to go die.
I still haven't seen this.
All right, Emily, cover your ears.
Are we doing this right now?
No, seriously, because I want to talk about it.
Do you want to see this movie?
Yes.
Oh,
very
please,
much.
please, cover your ears. Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
Just be really quiet.
Okay. So once the 72
wait, Millie, can you hear us?
He can't hear us.
Okay, he can.
All right. So when the 72-year-olds are going to go die and jump off of the cliff, there's no dialogue, no words exchanged. The only time dialogue is broken is when the British dude freaks out and he wants out. I forgot his name. He's a tall one.
Doesn't matter at this point. The one that was married. Engaged. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So pretty much when that happens, that's when dialogue is broken. But even at that, Danny, her hearing is muffled because she's just so focused on what just happened, because she has to witness death, to get over the trauma of her family. Obviously at first it doesn't work at all, but then she grows to it and you see the rest of the movie, whatever. But again, a scene that lasted 5 to 10 minutes with no dialogue. And it is so uncomfortable the entire time. All right, come back.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
But yeah, so that's why Ari Aster's, like, his style is just...
It's very unique.
So great.
It's very unique.
It's pretty amazing.
I feel like he has a strange thing for, like, decapitated heads. Because...
Or crushed skulls.
Yeah, this is the second time. It's the second movie he's made in which he has a still shot of not one, but two deformed heads.
Oh, he shows it too.
Yeah, it's like that. I'm pretty sure if you go to Ari Aster's house, he's probably one of those people that has, like,
I'm getting you, mallet. You wouldn't get it, but when you see the movie, you're probably gonna laugh at that part, and you're gonna remember me saying that.
I thought you were referencing Courage the Cowardly Dog.
No, I was.
He was.
I was.
That's the thing.
But if you've seen Midsommar, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Get me a mallet, dude. You were right about that movie.
I told you.
Yeah, you warned me. What he told me was that don't watch Real High. I didn't. So but what it was just like
one.
I went there and I was like I wasn't expecting to see it that day, but we saw it.
Didn't you see it? You saw it with the girl too, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But
I think that was the second
just,
thing I told you not to
yeah,
do. But you
yeah.
did.
It was very uncomfortable and it was very unsettling.
Yeah.
So, nonetheless, we got to take one quick break. Then we'll come back with the rest of the programming. Welcome back, everyone. We are 22S Radio, the next wave of K-Beach. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. And we are back again with Talk One Spencer program. I got two of my best friends right here with me, Mr. Mahlon and Malik Howard.
What it do, baby?
Don't say that.
Hello.
So, we're back with, we were talking about the disturbed mind of Mr. Ari Aster, director of Midsummer.
Yep.
And you wanted to bring up, what do you want to bring up again?
I kind of wanted to go back on what we were saying because that was a really interesting side tangent.
That's what this whole thing is about.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
yeah.
So I remember at the beginning I was talking about like 2 points of that whole nostalgia thing going on with movies. Obviously the first one is like going from 2D to 3D and how it never works. Sorry if you like it, good for you, but if not, you get it. But the second one was just about adaptations, if not just bringing stuff back from the dead, like Star Wars sequels, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, Terminator. I remember I said that before. What's another franchise?
What do you mean?
Another franchise that was kind of like brought back from the dead.
I
know Blade Runner was, but it was good.
No, that's different. That was
count.
one movie.
That
And Blade Runner was one movie to
that was
begin
one
with.
film.
Yeah.
But that is technically a sequel adaptation. So.
Yeah.
But let's think of what else. You said Jurassic Park.
Star Wars
Jurassic
was a
World.
good one.
Oh, no. Actually, you know what? That's a good one to bring up because no, it was not.
Oh, we're going to talk about
Episode 7 was okay. Episode 8 was atrocious. I am sorry.
Quit talking about Star Wars. You're scaring the hoes.
Whatever, bro.
No, it's fine. I want to talk about this.
Episode 8 was not good. I'm
Episode 8
sorry.
was not good. It was not.
7 was a good start. 8 was just the fattest letdown I've ever seen in cinema.
Yeah. I don't. Do you want to go into detail with that? Does anyone
With Star Wars?
Yeah.
I finally saw Solo.
Oh, what'd you think of
I
it?
actually enjoyed that movie.
Okay, as someone who is not like, I don't really care for Star Wars. I'm more
I get
like,
that.
I'm about to get probably flamed
Don't
for
say
what
it.
I'm about to say right now. But I like Star Trek more than Star Wars. I could just feel the hate just radiate in this
And
room.
unsubscribe.
From these two motherfuckers in front of me right now. I can just feel it.
Damn,
just
we can say
radiate.
that on the radio?
You can say whatever you want.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Except that word.
Were you just waiting for me
he
to
just
just
said
say something?
No, I meant the other.
Oh.
Were you just
Go
waiting
on.
for me to say something?
No.
Man. But yo, like, yeah, for what everyone was talking about, like, when it first came out, I remember like about a year ago, everyone was like, oh my God, it's so bad, it's so corny, it's cheesy. I liked it.
It wasn't
I liked
bad.
To be
It
fair,
was-
Star
yeah.
Trek did come out before Star Wars. Without Star Trek, do we really think that Star Wars would have been possible?
No.
Well, the question is,
But Star Wars
what
is better or something.
the question that really needs to be asked is, what type of movie is Star Wars?
Star Wars
that's a very
Well, Star
important
Wars is
question.
very different. Star Trek was a show, to
Yeah.
be specific, and it had an episodic form to where like you have a whole bunch of crew on a ship that's going about solving these various missions throughout the galaxy for the organization that they belong to.
Yeah,
Whereas Star Wars
like,
is the hero's
Here's
arc.
the thing. Here's the thing.
It's the hero circle.
They're
Right.
two different
The
things.
hero's,
It's night
the
and
hero's
day.
journey.
Yeah.
So, if you're not familiar with the conventional style of storytelling, the hero's journey, pretty much Luke has his life that he's not really happy about, but he's kind of okay with, and then something is supposed to come out of the ordinary and disrupt this. And he has to go on a journey to fix that, and along the way, he loses people, he gains people, and then he becomes better, and then, that's it. That's so many things do that.
Get in
right?
the robot
That's
shit.
the
Right.
Dan Harmon story circle.
Right. That,
Get
well,
in the
Dan
robot
Harmon
Shinji.
follows that, to a T.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Dan Harmon is the creator of Community on NBC and Rick and Morty as well.
Let's not talk about Rick and Morty. Okay, anyway, I like you, but I can't say that because people ruined it. But anyway,
This is fair. Szechuan sauce.
stop.
That's all we got to say. Szechuan
There are just
sauce.
people who just loiter
they
in
just
certain
ruin it.
communities
Right,
and just
right.
they ruin everything.
Right.
But besides the
Yeah. Besides the point. But going
Like
back
the
to Star
Marvel
Wars,
community.
obviously, like we'll get into that. Actually, no, we
There's
can
so
get into
much
that in a
to talk
minute
about.
with like toxicity in like fan bases and whatnot.
Yeah.
But with Star Wars, 3 movies to tell the hero's journey. It worked and it was fine. Obviously, George Lucas was like, I got to make this really sci-fi. I got to make it really interesting. So
On a very low budget.
he made rules to the universe, which is pretty much what you have to do when creating any fantasy. Let it be futuristic, medieval, anything. There has to be rules designed into that universe because that's just that's how world building is. And Star Wars, because it's a galaxy, just happens to be so big, so it's a lot easier to make multiple stories. And obviously, the prequels should have been good, but they weren't. So that's whatever. But that's kind of besides the point. What the real thing to talk about is the sequel trilogy. Now, the first one, Episode 7, it made sense to kind of bring it back. There was nothing really wrong with that until Episode 8. Because you have Rey, who you don't know who she's affiliated with, who her parents are, any relatives she has.
None.
You know, and she's kind of I'm sorry, people are probably going to get mad at me. She's a Mary Sue. She's good at everything and hasn't really done anything, but she can still beat up Kylo Ren.
Oh, that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Actually.
We're not
That's
gonna
another
have.
part. Well,
That's
that
whatever.
is, but we got to get there first.
Yeah, we got to get there. But you have all these characters set up. You kill off, Han Solo and whatnot. Spoiler, sorry. And you have just
shut up.
Yeah, I know it's been like 4 years, but you have an expansion on this large universe, and obviously people are excited. It wasn't bad. Episode 7 was pretty good, but Episode 8 made everything in Episode 7 useless. Completely useless.
unneeded.
Here's this super powerful Sith that's corrupted
Snoke.
a Skywalker. Oh, that hasn't happened before. I want to know what he's about. Nothing.
He's literally supposed to be like the new Palpatine. And this fool is just dead as soon as you meet him.
Right.
And we
it's-
learn nothing about his backstory.
Nothing about him.
He was useless. He
Kylo
just
Ren didn't get
died.
his training. Luke isn't even. I mean, if you want to argue with me,
Luke is
that
so out
Luke
of
was
character.
such a good character in
He
that.
was completely
Mark
out
Hamill,
of character.
the actor of Luke, did not like it because it didn't make any sense. Because Luke said, "Hey, I am going to convince Space Hitler, my dad, that he's still a good person and that he can save everyone," and he did. And the second a little boy starts to have some yellow eyes
And gets upset.
Oh, I'm just gonna go hide in the corner and let everyone die.
I've let everyone down. I can't do this anymore.
Can't do this
huh?
anymore. Are you kidding me?
Like, this doesn't make sense.
Literally, Mark Hamill went on record on like at least 4 interviews saying how,
And then had to retract it on
right,
Twitter,
and had
by
to
the
retract
way.
it on Twitter because Disney was like,
Yeah, because Disney owns
We're gonna take
Star
your
Wars
money,
now.
bitch.
Which, when
Like,
it first came
you
out, they
keep
didn't.
talking.
So
yeah, they're like, you want to keep talking? We're gonna take your fucking money.
Should we be scared of Disney?
yes,
Yes,
Yeah,
which is
I
yeah.
think
So Star Wars, yeah, it's bad.
So
Episode
you
9
need
is
to put
probably
up
gonna
a
suck too.
screenshot on this video of how many assets Disney owns now in 2019.
I mean, we've been talking about Disney,
Did
like-
they just buy Fox?
yes,
Fox? Yeah,
they got
Fox.
everything
Fox.
but
Yeah, if you
Fox
guys-
News.
if you
Everything
don't-
Fox has ever owned but Fox News.
Right. If you guys don't know that meme of Mickey Mouse on Thanos'
sports.
head and he's just slapping on the Infinity Stone of Fox, he's got sports, Fox News, Marvel, everything.
Well, they don't have. They have Fox News and Fox
Lucasfilms.
Sports still belongs to Fox.
Well, Fox News and Fox Sports is owned by a totally different,
I thought they had Fox News.
if not even scary company called News Corp,
yeah,
which is it's a dumb
That
name, right?
sounds terrible.
Yeah, News Corp. What type of? That just sounds like
sounds like it came out of a
people
comic
in,
book.
like people in suits, like you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the fucking Pixies from the Fairly Odd Parents.
Ben Shapiro Pixie.
oh my
Oh
god!
god, that's
you need to edit in like just a picture.
Just
of
a
that
picture of that,
Pixie.
right, in the
That
corner.
No
Pixie,
idea how excited I am right now.
I hate Ben Shapiro.
dude. Okay, but News Corp, had a CEO, name goes by name of Roger Ailes. Basically, he's every evil billionaire you've ever met in TV.
Ah.
This
Does he have a
asshole.
mustache?
No.
Oh.
No.
Of course
Is
he
he
does.
bald?
He's clean shaven.
He's bald, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
He's
All
clean
right.
shaven
All
and
right.
bald.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roger
On
Ailes.
some Lex Luger.
Total asshole. Dude, okay, so everyone knows how Bill O'Reilly, like, he got fired from Fox News. Big time guy.
Yeah.
For basically not sexual assault but misconduct. Basically calling his coworkers and being like, hey, see this loofah right here? I'm gonna pretend it's you.
No.
Just saying some weird stuff like that on the phone. Like,
fine.
Bill O'Reilly,
No.
why would you do
Why?
that?
You're done.
Like,
Get
come
out.
on, you're like 70 years old.
I'm sorry.
But
Bill
here's the
O'Reilly
thing.
said some
How many
weird
times
shit.
I gotta teach you this
I'm not
lesson, old
surprised
man?
he's Bill O'Reilly.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Roger Ailes is on record for doing even
More
worse
shit.
stuff.
Yeah.
And no one cared. No one cared.
Like what?
Like actual sexual assault.
Oof.
Yeah. And it's just like, I mean, I understand you have standards, I guess, Fox.
He's like the CEO of News Corp.
News Corp.
News
Like
Corp.
News
A
Corp.
bald guy.
Why does it sound like this
CEO
man is
of
just
News
laundering
Corp.
his money from Mexican black tar heroin? Like,
What are you gonna put
News
it in?
Corp?
News Corp.
News Corp.
I work for News Corp. Gee.
It's freaking crazy.
That
dude.
just has boomer written all over it.
Why do I love that term? I love just saying it.
We're down in
Boomer.
Long Beach, and there's a lot of them down here, dude.
Boomers,
It's
bro.
ridiculous.
All these boomers out here in Long Beach. I swear to God, man.
I love hearing that word. I don't know why. It's just so funny. Boomer.
It's like a pejorative, but it's not. It's just like the way you say it, like with the extra b or the b, it just you make it sound like a
Freaking
swear
boomer.
word.
Freaking
Like-
boomers.
Goddamn boomers, man.
Every time you say it, every time, it never gets old.
It's just like,
Damn boomers.
I don't know. You ever look at your parents
And think that,
and
yes.
think that, and like they just say some shit and it's like, goddamn boomers. And again.
No, like whenever you get that
Like-
that stupid entitlement speech, it's just like, God damn, fucking boomers.
I was talking to my dad, right? Last night, and it was after the presidential debate, which is on right now, by the way.
Oh,
And
okay.
he was like, I listened on the way home. Who are you voting for? And I said, Bernie Sanders. And he was like, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. I'm like,
Stop.
goddamn boomers.
Dude, Joe Biden is like the boomer mascot. Like,
Okay. I just want to get some clarification. Joe Biden definitely did pass some segregation laws back in the day, right?
He supported he did not support bus desegregation acts.
Okay.
So what his excuse was that he did not believe it was the federal government's responsibility to enforce busing to desegregate schools.
See, this is the problem. That entire mentality is exactly why segregation was allowed to exist.
Exactly.
The federal
It's
government
not our
shouldn't have any
place to
say
be a
in states'
government.
rights, even if they completely deny
And
people
if-
their basic human rights.
And if you want to go back further,
Stupid.
that argument was actually made to justify slavery
Yes.
being held in certain states.
States should be the federal government shouldn't have any say in what states do. If they want slavery, they can keep it.
Yeah,
Us
but-
up
okay,
north,
but
we don't have it.
In my humble opinion, I don't think that situation in and of itself clear cut makes him a racist.
No,
Oh,
because the crazy
Yeah.
part is that the majority of politicians at that time felt
Right.
that way.
He was just going along with everyone else.
He was
Even though
just a
some of
man
them-
of his time.
Exactly.
The thing is that that's not an apology, because that definitely means you're going about it the wrong way, and you're basically
Still is.
ignoring the real issue because that issue does not necessarily affect you, and that's a privilege, not a choice. So let's let that be known.
Yeah.
So we're not apologizing for him at all, but
Obviously,
there's a lot of
three
people-
black guys in this room. Of course not.
yeah, but
Of course
there's but there's a lot of people that did that. So it's like, can we blame him?
Yeah.
Not really, but is it are you going to be judged by it, and do you deserve to be judged by it? Yes.
It's like we kind of
I can't blame you for doing it.
We kind of can't, because like we can't forgive him because we can't forgive him simply because of the fact that people like Bernie Sanders
Existed at that time
at
too.
that time.
Right.
So
and
it's just
what
like,
did Bernie do? He was trying to stop it. He was protesting against a lot of things. You know?
Even though there are some things that Bernie does kind of sometimes get painted as this freaking white savior to like the highest degree, which he wasn't doing everything. All
He's
right,
doing a lot.
Yeah,
he
like,
was
he would-
doing a good
he-
amount of
He
stuff.
was definitely
but-
sticking his neck out. He went to jail.
He gives what I like about him is that he gives credit to
Don't quote me on
people who are on the right side of these issues.
Yeah.
but then he flames you if you're not. Like, for example, yesterday, have you guys watched the debate?
I watched like the first and second one back like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah. So there's one yesterday, and he was basically Jake Tapper, one of the moderators, was asking Bernie Sanders about healthcare, and Bernie was like, well, basically the question was framed like, are you going to raise taxes in order to give everyone health insurance? And then Bernie was like, that's a right-wing question and talking point. Because basically it is. Because if you raise taxes, but your total cost going towards health insurance is zero, other than the taxes you have to pay, that's a win-win situation. And basically, he was in the middle of saying, on this program tonight, we are going to get advertisements from the health insurance industry. And right in the middle of that sentence, he was like, Mr. Sanders, I cannot let you finish that sentence. And people were like, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? You know what I'm about to say, and you know I'm calling you out on your bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's just shit like that that makes me want to like him. But yet boomers have to go out and ruin it by voting for Joe Biden.
Freaking Biden.
Right. Like, to be honest with you, because there's... Oh my God! There's a lot of candidates. There's the Cardi B of politics. We'll talk about her in a second. But there's a lot of candidates, right? Some of them do have good views, good policies, But we need to narrow it down because we're really thinning out the votes. Obviously, we still have to pick the candidate, But there's some candidates that are kind of a waste of space, and I'm not gonna lie, Joe Biden is kind of one of them.
He doesn't need to be there.
He does not need to be there.
Yeah, I don't think Joe Biden realized that.
Like, bro, you were vice president for 8 years. Like, we really don't need your ideas back
You remember the first debate where he was like, that
not
was me.
saying that, like...
That was me. I did that.
It's not even like his the administration that he was a part of was all bad. Like Obama obviously did some very helpful things, and he was the first African-American president. But there's a lot of issues that occurred during his presidency and that his administration, pushed. But it's like, why would you... he's not going to win. It's the same thing with Hillary. It's like you're in another situation to where he has even less of a chance to win because he's not even a woman and he's not even a minority. So it's like your chance of getting either of those demographics votes is already lower than the other people that tried to do it and failed.
Something tells me about Joe Biden is that I don't think he realizes that if he becomes president, he has to be the president.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's just running just to beat Trump and like flex on everyone else, but like I don't think he realizes.
He's honestly just trying to flex.
Yeah, I don't think he realizes you have to run the country now, Joe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Trump thought that either.
Well,
like,
yeah, of course. Trump did not think he was going to win.
If you win, you got to be the president.
Well, this was a popularity contest for that fool.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's really what it was. And you got to look. There's only.
You just wanted to see how racist can I be to everybody and get what I want.
Who was the woman that Reef was referring to as the librarian?
Amy Klobuchar?
Yes, her. So her, not gonna lie, she has some pretty decent points.
Wait, Klobuchar or Warren?
Not Warren.
Okay,
not Warren.
Probably Klobuchar.
Klobuchar, yeah, definitely not Warren. Warren and Harris, no. But her and Bernie, to be honest, I would like to see the two of them duke it out, to be honest with you, because she has like some genuine points.
No, it's not Klobuchar. Was it Marianne Williamson?
Oh my God, was it her?
With the one that was like basically sounded high as fuck the entire debate, but was actually making pretty decent points.
She was like on the far left.
Yeah, that's Marianne Williamson. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, got names wrong. I can't remember. They're all old white women. All right, go on. Anyway, she. Well, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to keep updated.
I wish Kamala Harris wasn't a joke.
Yeah, me too.
Could have had a black woman running, but god dang it, freaking
shed
trash.
some light and elaborate on to what she allegedly did to trans inmates, because I heard some stuff.
Okay,
about
so
that.
basically,
she allowed them to be in all men cell blocks,
right? Okay.
And basically, she
Just
prevented them from getting hormone therapy.
Yeah.
So when you're in jail, they, in California at least during that time, they're allowed to stop you from taking, if you are transitioning, hormones that you would need to assist in your transition. And that depletion in hormones in the midst of a transition would fuck up your entire body. And also, in addition to that, she would also prevent them from having sex change operations as well. So
Not to mention her, her great contributions to the military-industrial. Not the military. My bad. I'm sorry. The prison industrial complex.
Locking up niggas.
Yep. Locking up niggas.
Watch 13th documentary on Netflix, please.
Oh my God!
Expands on
more
this a
black
lot,
people
more
need to
so
see
than we
that.
could.
Not even just black people. Everybody needs to see that. People
Not
don't
just minorities,
understand.
everyone.
Bro, the 13th Amendment literally says, just to let everybody know, in case you didn't know, it says
Slavery is
everybody
illegal.
is free unless you commit a crime. In a nutshell, that's what it means. If you're a prisoner, you are able to be enslaved.
And people wanted to flame Kanye for trying to point that out.
Kanye has a really bad way of wording shit.
Okay, obviously
All right.
he has a bad way
He's,
of
but
saying
he's
it.
still
sometimes
trying to
But at
word
the same
it for
time,
himself.
we
dude.
all
He's trying to
we
sort
all
that shit
knew
out.
what he was trying to say when he said that.
The thing is that this man was so dead at, like, at first that's what I thought, but he doubled down by saying it again, like in the way that he did, and I was like, Kanye, like, do you realize what you just said? Like,
He said we're gonna abolish, not amend, abolish. That means you would abolish the amendment that freed, in a sense, freed African Americans from slavery.
Right, just expand upon the currently established amendment. You know?
amend.
or how,
Or just
like,
amend, sure.
Yeah.
the crazy part, this is the
Not a
wild thing.
politician,
If
I'm
you
so
really
sorry.
think about this, think about it like this. We have a constitution that basically represents the rights of human beings of citizens of this country. We really have to tell people not to enslave other people.
That's just a human issue
Right.
at that point. I don't
Yeah.
think that's really a government issue that could be.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that has to be stated is crazy to me.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially to the degree, because the thing is, there was no enslavement like United States slavery. There was nothing like it.
When people try to say like slaves have existed since the beginning of time, that argument is automatically shot down when you take into consideration race science that existed that started in the 15th century.
Right.
And that was being used to justify slavery in the West Indies, in North and South America, Portugal, Britain, Spain, other parts of
Because
Europe.
before it was just prisoners of war, and it was for indentured servitude, and it was for different reasons. Yes,
not to
technically-
say that was okay either.
No,
but
because these people were still treated like shit, but their reasons for becoming enslaved were a little different. And of course, there were some people who had, like, villages raided and were taken and then were sold into slavery for different things. And it's like, yes, those existed, but there was a systematic thing of completely dehumanizing a specific group of people based off the color of their skin to basically, and using the Bible as well. There's a passage, Mahlon can explain it. It's from Noah's Ark.
I don't know if you guys want me to explain.
But it is something
I
that was
hurt
used
someone's
because
feelings.
there is a book where they used religion, they used xenophobia, they used so many other things to basically justify the fact that these people deserve to be enslaved, and this is how the world works.
It was in Genesis, actually. Keep talking so I can get my facts right real quick.
okay, I'm going to
I
stop
have
you
a
right there
bookmark.
because
We actually should have been talking about movies.
No, we really should have. Now, you know what?
well, it's too late now. We only got 10 minutes left anyway.
Oh, we
so-
do.
Yeah, whatever. We're on a political
do you
show
wanna waste
anyway.
10 minutes on talking about religion? You want me to do that? Okay.
By all means.
Well, pretty much. So Noah had children, right? And pretty sure it was a Canaan. You know, Noah's children with Canaan, and whatnot, and how Canaan was cursed, or was it Ham? I think
You
it
mean
was Ham.
Cain and Abel?
No.
Talking about
'Cause-
Genesis after the flood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after the flood. All right, wait.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
And let's see. Go to the bookmark. All right, so pretty much. Okay, cool. Now we're getting this sorted out. So, with Noah in the Bible, he had 3 sons, and each of them was going to pretty much watch over land, pretty much populate land to repopulate the planet after the flood, right? And one of his children, Ham, or Ham, however you want to say it, became the founder of the Middle East and Africa, kind of like Northern Africa. I don't know if it's specifically Egypt, but historians would argue it's this place or that place. But the point is that it was in Africa, right? And what is it? One of Ham's children was it should have been Canaan. Let's see. Yep. Descendants. So All right. So Ham's son, man by the name of Canaan, pretty much he had judgment based on him. That God told Noah to judge and I don't want to say curse, but pretty much curse Canaan and say, you and your descendants shall be enslaved by your brothers and sisters, right? Because of something that he did. So in the Bible, it says that Canaan and his descendants must be enslaved.
The
and it
people
just
who
so
populate the lower Middle East and Africa.
Just so happened that they were populating Africa, meaning that they were a bunch of niggas. And they had to be enslaved based off of the Bible. Now, others would argue that no, they were in this other part, and then we don't, look at the Old Testament.
I mean,
but the point is, now, if you want to say it's right or wrong, that's okay.
I didn't know that was justification. I thought justification was when Adam and Eve made it, and they had Cain and Abel, and then Cain killed Abel, and then God cursed Cain with the mark of Cain. And what I heard is the mark of Cain was black skin.
That's another one.
Yeah,
that's another. There's also these people that were described as dark skinned and whatnot, that were evil and all this stuff. I can't remember exactly what that was.
Was it in Sodom and Gomorrah?
I think so.
How did we get in this conversation?
Everything comes back to religion.
And also, you guys can check out the book if you want to figure out how Christianity was definitely used to justify slavery. Go look up the book "How to Make a Negro Christian" from the. I think it was 1700s or 1800s. I can get my facts straight, but you can buy it at Barnes & Noble by Dr. Charles Cullick Jones.
By using this coupon code. No, we're not doing an ad read.
No, but that's an actual book. You can buy it at Barnes & Noble for $40 right now.
Yeah.
It's such a innate concept.
Yeah.
It was created. It was a religion forced upon our ancestors to justify the fact that we deserved to be enslaved.
One of my favorite albums of all time, and you've seen it hanging on the wall in my apartment.
Yep. Which one?
Pimp Butterfly.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a line in I want to say it's Complexion, A Zulu Love.
Yeah.
Where he says the Willie Lynch theory reversed a billion times because of complexion. And the Willie Lynch letter was basically a letter telling slave owners that in order to I don't want to use the right word. In order to take control of black slaves is to divide them amongst each other.
That was also in Jim Crow laws.
Exactly.
Well, right? Yeah.
And the way to do that is to divide them by their own skin color.
Yeah.
Which goes in the roots of colorism.
Right. And that's
house nigga.
Now a house nigga, you got your house nigga that's obviously treated better than your field nigga.
Raise your hand, Mahlon.
But the thing
house
is,
nigga here,
here's the
field
thing.
nigga
Here's
here.
the thing. Now, you're probably wondering, okay,
so
you must be adopted or something, whatever. No, we are like blood brothers, same parents, right? But that's because of ancestry and how we can come in all different shades because of how mixed and fucked up it has become. But that's besides the point.
Really
pretty much,
weird,
a house nigga was probably.
Let's just say a house slave.
House slave.
Please.
Just keep saying that. Everyone's like, ooh, stop saying it. Stop saying that. You sound white. You can't say the N-word, ooh. Anyway, so pretty much a house slave was most likely the child of the slave master.
Mulatto
and had
children.
To keep them, right.
That's what the term was.
Yeah, mulatto children. And they had to keep them close because why would they not to their children or whatnot? Or some disgraceful thing, and bastard son, all that stuff in any culture, any time period. But pretty much they would get treated better because they're inside of a house. They get to sleep inside that house. Maybe they might get to sleep in the back of the shed, but the thing is they get to eat in a house where it's hot outside. They don't have to deal with that stuff. Get to wear nice clothes, get their stuff clean. They get to take a shower. And now you got your field slaves becoming jealous. And there becomes a divide, and that divide makes that hatred pretty much intimate. It makes it that hatred just amalgamate into the community, and now the slave master has to just sit back and watch.
Do you ever just sit sit and think as a black person
damn, slavery really did happen.
Niggas were actually slaves.
Yeah.
It's just wow.
Yeah.
it's kind of mind-boggling to think.
It's low-key traumatizing as a child.
Yeah.
Like, I had tweeted this at some point because I don't remember. Somebody had basically, like, I don't remember who it was. I overheard somebody, like, talking about wherever I was. I think I was hanging out with my friend Brandon out somewhere. But basically, it was talking. This person was saying how slavery and, like, segregation doesn't really affect us now. And it was a black person saying this. And it was like, but this, I don't know what the freak this dude was talking about, because it was like, dude, think about, and the people who are not black, and unfortunately, well, luckily you don't have to, like, deal with this when you grow up, because when you have a black history book as a child, it has images of everything.
Like lynching.
I've seen lynching, like a photo at a carnival with a bunch of white people from the South around a man who is lynched, hung, beaten, burned, and everything when I'm like 9. And the thing is, you don't understand what that means. And at a certain age, your parents have to tell you as a child is that everybody before you, even our parents, was treated like shit strictly because of their skin color.
It's kind of like scary.
Yeah,
Like,
because you,
like
especially
for example,
as a kid.
earlier this week.
Oh, boy.
And yeah, basically,
We don't need to
This is
talk
actually
about that. It wasn't true.
Like so
no,
two
but no,
things
but
to talk
the
about.
fact that it wasn't true is not just as bad, but it proves a point.
Right.
So basically, if you guys don't know where we're
So
all
trying
from,
to talk about the misinformation. And
yeah,
whatnot.
we're all from
Yeah.
Fontana, California, which is a city in the Inland Empire, maybe about an hour and a half away from the studio in Long Beach. And there was, to our discovery, a man found hanging right off the 210 freeway in Sierra Lakes, which is a really nice part of Fontana, California. And the first assumption which people thought was a lynching.
Yep.
And the man appeared black.
Because a man appeared black. And the fact that I got the information and did not have any logical stops in my train of thought to think there's no way that lynching happened in California, I just quickly went to panic mode, proves that this is a possibility that it could happen.
Right. And
the
second it actually
Fontana
does,
is also used to be the California charter for the KKK. Y'all got to remember that too.
Yeah. Upland too, right?
Exactly.
Upland as well.
All right.
Upland
Well,
as well.
we got one more minute left. We just got to wrap things up.
All right, wrap it
guys.
up. Okay,
All
so
right.
we talked about slavery. Yeah, you got that. Misinformation is bad. Don't try to do that stuff. You learned about 2D.
And ended up being a guy that was just burned out in the sun. His dead body
Rest
was
in
in
peace.
5
Yes, a
days. He was,
Caucasian.
yeah,
give
he
your
was ended up
condolences
being
to
a
the
white
family
man.
if you know who we're talking about, though. So,
Yeah. So
but yeah,
with that being said, thank you guys for coming on. Appreciated it.
Sure.
We covered a lot of topics today.
Stop
too
adapting 2D because it looks like shit.
it don't,
looks like
don't
trash.
do it. Also,
And-
nostalgia. What's up with the trailers of nostalgia movies? What's up? They always play like the nostalgia piano, like the do 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 do. You know what I mean? They play the really slowed down version of the dream.
All right, we need to
theme
leave
song,
on that
Whatever.
note.
All right, we're gonna leave
Yeah,
on
we
that.
gotta go.
I hate that. Trailers suck. Okay.
So I'll see you guys next time on an episode of Talking with Spencer. Hope you guys had a good time, and I will see you all very soon.